21 years after its foundation in 1843, Marlborough College in England played the first ever schools match against Clifton College. 150 years later, the occasion was celebrated with a match between the schools.
It's basically the first ever match played under the rugby rules between two schools in history. That's it. It's the beginning of, say, competitive rugby at school level, and perhaps in many ways a symbol of the things to come. It was a game that was structured completely different. It was a huge mall, if you want, of 30 people. There were 20 aside. There were 15 forwards who would just really get clenched around the ball into a kind of an endless dance and moving around, and that's why this element of hacking was sort of introduced, which was a bit of an early rucking, kicking hard to release the ball. There were 2 half-backs on either side of this huge mall and 3 backs.
The game had been conceived at Rugby School 23 years earlier, but at that time there was a major impediment to the playing of competitive matches.
The big danger, which as it proved to be, was that they were playing to different rules. What it meant, different rules, the basic rules were the rules of rugby. They were local variation, local idiosyncrasies, which led to an almighty brawl in this match in 1864, which basically brought the relationship to a halt for nearly 30 years. The next match was in 1891.
The anniversary match also included the renaming of the school's pitch in memory of a former pupil who helped grow the game in England and abroad.
Hammersley was in school in 1864. Although most certainly he played rugby and was taught a very, very good game of rugby, he was probably deemed not to be good enough to play in the school 20. He actually did not play in the school 20 at all during his tenure here. But what is interesting that soon after the school he joined a club formed by old boys called Marlborough Nomads. Now Marlborough Nomads were a London-based club and became very soon one of the best in the country. And Hammersley, in 1871, when the first England team was selected, became one of the members of the England team, one of the forwards. And 3 years later, in 1874, he became captain of England.
The annual match now has its own cup, introduced in 1964 to celebrate the fixture's centenary.
It's an old racing trophy that was presented to the school by an old boy, by a former pupil. In fact, I think he was the governor of Jamaica or something like that. Now that's why it's called the Governor Cup.
It was a sunny day. There were more people on the touchline than I've ever experienced. I think it was 3,000 to 4,000, and there were stands, and it was at Clifton, and there was a terrific atmosphere. It was charged.
There'd been a game beforehand where they played in pyjamas and all the old kit, which had set the trend. There were a lot of people watching, so it was a first experience for most of our team, of course, playing in front of so many people.
It was fierce all the way through. My only real memory now is that I happened to score 2 minutes from end. And I thought, and everybody thought, that was the winning try, but there was a try scored virtually on full time by Clifton. So we lost, and I've been recovering ever since.
And many names from the rugby world have been involved in the fixture's historic past.
I came to Clifton College as Master in Charge of Rugby in 1986. And actually I had 10 seasons at Clifton. I measured my time at Clifton in seasons because I left in December 95 to become Welsh national coach, actually, which was an unusual stepping stone. I think what I'm really proud of is what rugby gives these guys. It gives them memories, and yeah, a special occasion like this gives them memories. I mean, those sort of memories, those friendships, that sort of camaraderie is a corny word, but perhaps that's what rugby stands for.
It's a very healthy rivalry with Clifton. We've got great respect for them. They're very close neighbours, and whatever happens today, whatever happens in the fixture every year, there's a smile and a handshake and a drink at the end of it all.
It's such a huge occasion, 150 years of history towards this, and we lost the last game here last year, so it means everything to win this here.